Welcome to a Notability tutorial. This will help you set up your Notability and get somewhat familiar with using it for your note-taking and homework uses. To begin, I want to show you what you're going to be doing today. By the end of this tutorial, I hope you will be able to say, I can set up folders to organize my notes, I can create a note and write or type my thoughts, and I can back up my notes using Google Drive. The first task we're going to do is to organize your notes. This is a really good place to start so that you can continue to place notes in the correct category or subject based on your classes. Your teacher will be able to pause this video for you to catch up and complete some of these tasks, or you can pause it at home if you are watching it at home as well. There are two parts to the organizational system of Notability: subjects and categories. Categories will be used for each class you have, whereas subjects will be used for the units within those classes. For instance, if you had English as your category, you might add a subject called vocabulary. That is a unit within your English class. We can start adding subjects and categories by accessing the plus sign, which is right here, and choosing a subject or category and titling it. You will notice that I already added a category called English. Now I'm using the plus sign to add a subject called vocabulary within my English category. You can see what this looks like. Now I've got the category with a subject of vocabulary underneath. The subjects are color-coded, so you know which subject you're in. This is where all of your notes for vocabulary will be stored. You cannot store notes in a category. It has to be divided into a particular subject. Notice when I'm in the editing menu, which you can find up here, I can select notes for editing and I can drag and drop notes into my subjects. Another thing I can do is change the colors, and I'm going to do that right in this little spot here. So I can change this vocabulary subject to any color I want. Go ahead now and add a category for each of your classes. If you know that you have a unit of study going in those classes, you can add subjects to them as well. So now your Notability organizational system should be set up very similar to mine. English, social studies, math, science, maybe a quarter class, your world language class, and if you have any subjects, they should be listed within that category. Next, I would like you to practice actually using a document to edit. Go ahead and use the welcome document to practice. Then you can create a document and rename it Practice and move that to the English category. This is the welcome document. It's a good place to practice as it gives you directions. For instance, sign your name using the pencil, tap again to change the width and the color, and using 2 fingers to scroll up. So go ahead and go through this welcome document now with the video paused and follow along the directions. This will give you a quick introduction as to how to edit documents using Notability. Back on your home screen, you're going to go ahead and find a new document, which is right here in the upper right hand corner. Once you have created the new document, it will open it, and you can put your cursor here, backspace, and delete the note September 10th, 2013, and you can retype your name for that document. So I'm going to call this document Practice. Then back on my home screen, I want to make sure that instead of no subject here, my practice document is placed in my English category. Now remember, I told you that notes are not kept in categories. Notes are all kept in subjects. So I either have to move practice into vocabulary or I need to create a new subject. Because practice is not a vocabulary assignment, I am going to create a new subject for it. Again, notes are stored in subjects. So I'm going to create a new subject. I'm going to call this subject Practice. I can delete this at any time if I don't need it anymore. Another way to add new documents to your Notability is to grab one from your teacher's website. Maybe your homework is posted on their website and they want you to edit it and turn it in digitally. You would then go to your teacher's website and find the homework assignment and hit download link. Once you download it, it'll pop open in the browser that you are in, but it will give you the option to open in Notability, or it might just say open in, and then you would tap this and get a drop down menu where you could choose Notability. You want to open it in Notability. It is then that you can go ahead and use a tool to write directly on this document and edit it, and then you would save it and you could send it to your teacher from Notability. Syncing notes is one of the most important parts of this tutorial. If you've already done this once and you've done it differently than this tutorial, it's very easy to fix. Just follow along with the steps and you can fix your syncing so that everything syncs to Google Drive in a specific folder. The first thing you need to do is have Google Drive app installed on your iPad. So go ahead and open the App Store. And in the App Store you want to search for Google Drive, and I would choose the Google Drive for iPad. You get this little icon here. Notice it's free, so go ahead and hit that to download, and then it should say installing. Once it's installed, you should find the Google Drive app on your home screen. When you click on Google Drive, you want to just go ahead and get started right away. It's going to ask you to sign in with your student ID at ep-student.org. Your password is your lunch PIN number plus the word learn. It may ask you for user data. I would hit don't send at this point. Then you will get into your drive, and if you have folders and files, it will show you all of your folders and files, so it should look like this. Yours may look a little bit different than mine if you have an older version of Drive. Drive is a free app, so it is one that you can upgrade on your own. Go ahead and click on the plus sign in the top right hand corner to create a new folder. And call that folder Notability Backup and create. You should be able to see Notability Backup in your folders, and once you do that, then you can exit out of Google Drive. On the home screen, you're going to want to choose the settings. This is where you can access and turn on the syncing notes feature. From there, you're going to choose a sync destination, and you're going to choose Google Drive. Then you're going to enter in your student email and your password using the PIN number, your student ID number, and your PIN number plus the word learn. Here's an example. Your student ID number at ep-student.org, then your PIN number plus the word learn. You may get a message like this app would like to. Go ahead and click accept. Once you get to this screen, it asks you to pick a sync folder. You want to pick Notability Backup. And it should be the first one since we just created it. But if it's not, you can just scroll through your folders and look for the one that's called Notability Backup and then hit sync to Google Drive. Once you sync to Google Drive, it's going to ask you if you choose a sync format. If you've done this in the past, maybe you've done a PDF. I'm going to have you do a note instead because notes will just back up as notes, which that's what you want to put in your folder should we have to re-image your iPad. So go ahead and choose Note. And then it should bring you back here, and Google Drive should be checked, and then you're going to want to scroll down. You can also scroll down and choose Sync Destination to make sure that all of your subjects are synced. Once you've done that, go ahead and click Done. You have now synced your Notability documents with Google Drive. You've also learned in this tutorial how to edit in Notability and also to organize your Notability notes.